NBC6 News Today at 6:30 starts now.
Oh boy, this is a look back, isn't it?
It is, yes.
6:30 is your time, and it's back to school, so we wanted to hit you with some of our back to school flavor. I guess you can pretty much figure out who's who.
Yes, I'm right there in the middle with the pink book bag and the pigtails.
That's me with the awful picture on the left with the wicker, the rattan chair that I guess was in style at one point.
And the only one not smiling this morning.
Yeah, you know, I was trying to look cool.
You looked super cool with the bangs switched to the side. What you don't see is the mullet there.
The little mullet in the background. And look at Mr.
He is the star.
Oxford on the far right.
Oh,
He looks like a promotional picture for an Ivy League school.
Oh my gosh.
Look at you, Adam.
You look great.
The stud. Were you a member of the crew team?
I know, right?
Lacrosse?
I look like a Chad or right, a Thurston, you said?
You're a bird man.
Right, the captain of the crew, the crew team, right?
I like it.
Weren't you with tennis and what did you do?
Tennis, baseball, wrestled in junior high. My high school didn't have
Okay.
wrestling, but wait, Chris wrestled too.
I did.
Yes.
Ooh, you know
We're not going to wrestle right
Yeah,
now.
let's
Just
do it.
no ideas. I wrestled and swimming.
Yes.
So for some reason you saw some of the swimming
I
photos.
did.
I left them out of the story on
Yeah,
purpose.
no, we didn't need to see all,
I didn't want to
all
scare
of that
the view.
skin.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
The bathing suits weren't very big back then.
All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday and happy back to school
Yeah.
for our Miami-Dade students, for the teachers and all the staff members heading back today. I'm Constance Jones.
And I'm Chris Anderson. Hope those images didn't ruin your breakfast.
Yeah.
Anyway, breakfast is on for the kids, for the teachers, for the parents as they get ready to roll out the red carpet for back to school. And we have team coverage for you this morning. But first, obviously, the weather plan. We need to know how to get dressed and ready and
That's
what
right.
accessories we need to bring, like umbrellas.
And I noticed today the temps are much lower than what we've dealt with for weeks now, waking up to 79 degrees here in Miami. Adam has more details on the forecast and what we can expect. This morning looking good. It's this afternoon that we need to prepare for.
Right, and maybe we get a little lucky and the storms hold off till like maybe 3. It's about as good. Look, it takes a lot of strength to hold those storms off. Okay, so I'm gonna try. Like you gotta get the muscles going, but it's gonna be a little tricky this afternoon. I'm not thinking severe weather, but you know how the thunderstorms are here. They're impactful, right? Even if we're not thinking organized severe storms, a little tricky. The timing, I'm thinking 2, 3 o'clock. So maybe if you get in there early, you can get some of the youngsters before the storms hit. But
Throw the
morning's
umbrella in
looking
the
great.
backpack just in case, right?
Have the umbrella handy, absolutely. You won't need it this morning. It's the afternoon. It's looking a little dicey.
Okay.
But we've got the technology for this, right? It's a good day to download the NBC6 app. If you're a parent, you'll know exactly what's going on. If you're making that move to the school, if you're in that line, that long line we all know well, at least you'll kind of know what's coming your way here. So right now it's about as good as you can ask for, honestly, especially considering how hot this summer's been, right? Upper 70s to about 80 degrees across most of Miami-Dade and Broward. It's Key West and the Keys that are the warmest spots right now, and feels like temperatures down there are still pretty hot, into the mid-90s. Now, we are seeing some showers. Big Pine, a little drier now. It's Marathon looking at some of these pesky light to moderate showers. No lightning there. Where's all the lightning? Boy, it was a serious lightning show on my drive in, but these were all thunderstorms out over the Atlantic waters and moving away from us, which is good news. Here's Future Tracker. I'm going to show you the timing here. We're good through lunchtime, and then it's right around that 2 to 3 o'clock time frame, that tricky hour right in there as those storms begin, maybe continuing through the early evening. It's going to be warm, but about where we should be this time of the year, 92 degrees. Don't overdo it this afternoon. Much more on the forecast end of the weekend coming up next.
All right, obviously the big story this morning, it is the first day of school for students in Miami-Dade County Public Schools.
Yeah, it's a big day for students, for teachers, for parents in our area. So, of course, we've got team coverage for you to get you ready for this big day. Our NBC6 traffic anchor, Joanna Torres, will have more on school safety zone reminders. And Lorena Inclán is also live this morning where the buses are hitting the roadways.
But we do want to kick off our team coverage with NBC6's Ari Adzer, who is live in Hialeah this morning. He's outside of American High School, where the superintendent is going to be there to welcome the students and teachers back with open arms this morning. A lot of excitement. I can hear the band in the background there, Ari.
Yeah, you know what? The activity level has ramped up dramatically here at American Senior High School since we saw you guys at 6 o'clock. The band is out here practicing. They're going to welcome Superintendent Dr. Jose Dotris when he arrives in a little while. Obviously an exciting day. This is the day when kids show up with that feeling of excitement mixed with terror, that they might not have any friends in their classrooms or their classes might be hard. There's so much anxiety on the first day of school and so much anticipation, so much enthusiasm. The proud principal here is Mr. Stephen Papp, who's going to talk to us for a second about how the first day of school impacts everybody. What are you thinking today?
I'm very excited. I hope the students are excited as well. We feel this is going to be an excellent year, the 2023-2024 school year. Patriot Nation is going to kill it this year. I love my students to death, and they're going to do a great job.
And your biggest challenge, do you think, this year? Is it the fact that you have so many kids from other countries just getting here, learning English? Is that a big thing you guys have to deal with?
Absolutely, but we're gonna support these students. We're gonna love these students. We're gonna give them the resources that they need to be successful here at American Senior High School.
You're gonna have a great year, I can tell. Have an awesome year. He was out here this morning with one of those leaf blowers, making sure everything is clean and ready for the students. That's how dedicated this man is to this school. And we talked to some dedicated teachers yesterday down at Southside Preparatory Academy. It's a K-8 in the Brickell area. They were getting their classrooms ready for today. Here's what some of them had to say.
I want them to think of me as their extended family. And so that is what I want to create in my classroom. The feeling of belonging and just the feeling of being excellent students and having that social and emotional well-being taken care of.
It is very challenging from both sides, yes, for the parents and for the teachers. But what we do, we give 100% to make sure we get the best out of them.
And he was talking about the challenge of getting third graders ready to have a great school year, because that man teaches third grade, and third grade is a cutoff, you're right. It's do or die. You have to do well. You have to pass the FAST exam or you're held back. You have to repeat third grade. So a lot of pressure there on third grade teachers. All the teachers we spoke to yesterday felt the same thing, that they were enthusiastic about getting back in the classroom, getting their kids comfortable, and making sure this is a good school year for everybody. Let's hope it is, right? It's hope springs eternal on the first day of school. Guys, back to you.
All right, Ari, and out here at the bus depot, this is a huge part of this choreography, if you will, a huge part of this dance to make sure that today goes off without a hitch. Now, you can see that some of these buses have already been rolling out, this front row almost empty, but still quite a few buses left out here as they get their day started on this first day of school in Miami-Dade. Now, take a bird's eye view. Thanks to Chopper 6, we can see from above just how many of these buses are out here. The bus drivers arriving, getting in their buses, doing their inspections, and heading out to pick up those students to make sure that they get there on time. So far, things seem to be running smoothly, but we'll know later today if there were any hiccups. We'll check. Now, I do want to show you what the superintendent of Miami-Dade Public Schools had to say a few days ago, because earlier in the week, Dr. Jose Dotris held a kickoff ceremony at the historic Miami Senior High School where students performed, and he spoke in the hopes of inspiring staff and teachers. Now, the school year is starting with a backdrop of heated debate over the impact of the state's decrees on education policy. Now, the superintendent said that he wants a culture in which all teachers and students know they're being supported.
Making sure that teachers are feeling valued, that our students know that our schools are safe places for them is important. Some of these laws that have been imparted have to do with instruction. That does not keep us from helping our students with individual situations.
Now, back out here live, this area will continue to be active this morning as the buses head out into traffic, so make sure you keep an eye out for them, and of course the students who are riding these buses as well. Another big topic going into this school year is the statewide teacher shortage, and according to the superintendent, 600 teachers were hired for the start of the school year, but they still have about 280 spots open. We'll keep an eye on that for you as well. Reporting live this morning in North Northwest Miami-Dade, Lorena Inclang, NBC6 News.
All right, Lorena, thanks so much. Of course, with all the school buses out there and a lot of the extra traffic out there, back to school means you got to pay attention when you're on the roadways around the city.
You always need to be alert out on the roadways, but now maybe a little extra alert. Traffic anchor Joanna Torres with more tips to keep in mind before you head out today, because those flashing school zone lights are going to be on in full effect.
Those are all back, all those flashing lights. So you have to be definitely super aware of all that, right? So like we've been mentioning, while school is back in Miami-Dade County today, also back are those speed zones, and traffic is already heavy, and it's only about to get worse. Even if you don't have children drop off at school today, you may have to commute to and from work. So before you head out, keep the following in mind. The Miami Police Department wants to remind drivers to plan ahead, leave early, and observe all school zones and school bus signals. Most school speed zone limits drivers to 15 miles per hour and is enforced 30 minutes before and after school. Pay attention to flashing lights and take note of the hours on signs that you pass along your commute. Officers will be on the lookout, especially around school zones.
And you guys are going to be out there.
Yes, we are, and the entire traffic division is going to be out there enforcing these traffic laws in all of the schools within the district. Our number one excuse that drivers give to us when we pull them over is, hey, I'm running late for work, which unfortunately, when we're dealing with kids, zero tolerance.
Zero tolerance. There it is.
And Miami-Dade Fire Rescue is also welcoming students and parents back to school. Starting today, MDFR is rolling out its school zone safety initiative, Stop, Drop, and Roll with a Twist. The initiative emphasizes safe driving behaviors like stop accelerating, drop your speed to 15 miles per hour, and roll carefully through the school zone. And if you're not driving, Fire Rescue also wants to remind students and parents of bus and bike safety.
While waiting for the bus to arrive, teach your children to stay away from the bus until it comes to a full stop and the driver signals that it's safe to enter. If your child rides their bike to school, remember that helmets are not only a good option, they are the law and should be worn at all times. Ride your bike on sidewalks or bike lanes when available. Ride on the right in the same direction as traffic and follow all traffic signals.
And if your child walks to school, it's important to choose the safest route, not the fastest, and be alert and steer away from headphones or texting so you can be aware of cars or people. Remind them to use the same route home every day without taking shortcuts. Broward County, you will have to keep these same tips in mind starting next week when students return to school on Monday. Chris and Constance.
And keep your eye out for those school bus stop signs, right? When they pop out, make sure you stop at those. Wake up with NBC6 as we get you ready for school this entire day, week, month, year. We are here for you each and every day. We're going to have special stories airing all month long, profiling our local schools, our local students, their mental health, educators, and what they're doing in the classroom. Keep watching NBC6. Visit our website at NBC6.com and download and use the NBC6 app. Coming up in just a few minutes, I'm going to take you down memory lane for my high school experience here in South Florida. Rocket Pride, Rocket Pride. We're going to take a look back at my time as a Miami Central Rocket at Central Senior High School when we come back. 6:44 is your time. Happy Thursday, everybody. You're watching NBC6 Today.